So good morning. My name is Shelley Brown, and I am the chair of the board of the Children's Hospital Foundation of Saskatchewan. And it is my pleasure to be your MC for today's historic announcement. So this is an exciting time for Saskatchewan, with work well underway on one of the most significant healthcare projects of our generation, the building of our province's maternal and children's hospital. With construction now over 55% complete, and you can see the progress that's going on across the river, soon we will join the ranks of all other provinces in Canada except for one small province where our children are served by a dedicated children's hospital. In addition to funding over $1 million a year in equipment, training, and research, which we provide for urgent maternal and pediatric needs, the foundation is working hard to ensure that all the special enhancements and the family-friendly places will be ready to make our children's hospital a special place for kids, mums-to-be, and families. And with our hospital taking shape across the river, it makes a day like today even more meaningful. Now, I would like to acknowledge some of our special guests that we have with us here today, and it's a rather lengthy list, so just bear with me for a moment. First of all, we have our Premier, the Honourable Brad Wall, Minister of Health, Jim Ryder, the Honourable Ken Cheveldayoff, MLA Lisa Lambert, the Honourable Paul Merriman, the Honourable Dave Buckingham, Eric Olison, MLA, Honourable Don Morgan, the Honourable Bronwyn Ear, Troy Davies, City Council, and we also have with us the Chair of the Saskatoon Health Region, Mike Stensrud, right? The CEO of the Saskatoon Health Region, Dan Florazone. We also have a number of the board members of the Children's Hospital Foundation with us this morning. We have Greg Ewell, Dave Duchek, Tanya Holt, Patricia Cook, Jackie Mann, Bill Hood, and Colin Shan. And we also have a couple of past board chairs here who have been with this foundation largely since the beginning. Jim Mewell, for here, and Grant Cook. We also have, last but not least, the head of our pediatrics, Dr. Lawrence Gibelishin. And we also have another special guest here with us today, Len Schlosser and his wife, Dolores. And Len is the mayor of Luseland. So welcome, Len. So it is my honor to introduce to you the 2016-17 Saskatchewan Ambassador for the Champions Program presented by Walmart, 12-year-old Calla Gross of Saskatoon. Now, Calla has been crisscrossing Saskatchewan for months, representing sick and injured children across the province. And her story and that of her family is a reminder of why we're all here today. It's kids like Calla that remain the true reason for why we will continue to raise funds for maternal and pediatric equipment right now, and for research that is continuing to take place. And as we all understand, within our own industries or within our schools, technology is changing at an ever-increasing pace. So we will continue to raise money for the Children's Hospital so that we can stay current with technology. So this is just the beginning for our foundation, and we will continue our fundraising so that this children's hospital will become a major player in the pediatric and maternal world of healthcare, and to continue to help kids such as Calla. So ladies and gentlemen, with that, please join me in welcoming Calla Gross.
Hi, my name is Calla, and I'm this year's Saskatchewan Champion Child presented by Walmart. I'm 12 years old and in grade 6 here in Saskatoon. I love to ride horses, listen to music, and read. There are a lot of amazing kids out there that are sick or injured. I'm very excited that we will soon have a children's hospital in Saskatchewan to help them. I was born 3 months premature, weighing just 2 pounds 5 ounces. I spent the first 2 months of my life in the NICU, Neonatal Intensive Care Unit. I needed lots of help breathing and struggled gaining weight. At 1 month, I got an infection and I needed lots of help breathing and had to go back on the ventilator and had a blood transfusion. For the next few years, I was in and out of the hospital with respiratory issues and was diagnosed with mild cerebral palsy at age 2. As a result, I had to start wearing ankle braces called AFOs, ankle-foot orthotics. I also had lots of physiotherapy throughout the years. When I was 4, I started horseback riding as physio, and today it is one of my passions. This year, I am really excited because I get to try a year without my AFOs. I consider myself lucky that I did not have to go to a different province to get the medical care I needed, although I know that many families have. I started donating money to the Children's Hospital Radiothon when I was 4 years old, after my little sister Delena died at birth. She was one of the main reasons I decided to donate. That and the fact that I knew that a children's hospital would benefit so many families in Saskatchewan. A couple years later, my little brother Clark spent 1 month in the NICU after being born 2 months early. I am very grateful to be this year's champion child. It has been a great honor and privilege to represent the Saskatchewan children in need of medical care. This past year has been an eye-opener for me. I've had the opportunity to speak and share my story at many different events on behalf of the Children's Hospital Foundation. In March, I was able to go to Ottawa and Orlando, where I got to meet other champions that have been through, or are still going through, medical challenges such as cancer, epilepsy, brain injuries, and Down syndrome. It was amazing to see what they had gone through and be able to relate to them in some ways. I noticed that all the kids there had a children's hospital in their province, and they said that it helped them a lot. I can't wait for the children's hospital to open so that can happen in Saskatchewan. All of the generous and thoughtful people who have donated to the foundation over the years have helped make a children's hospital in Saskatchewan a reality. To everyone who has donated, your support means the world to the kids and families like mine. It is important to have a children's hospital because the kids who need it have been through a lot, and this new hospital will ensure that they will have the care and comfort they need. I remember what it is like to be in the hospital, and I want other kids' experiences to be not as scary. There are a lot of things I'm excited for in the new hospital, but some of the most important things are family-friendly care and the best possible medical equipment. I'm very excited for the Children's Hospital, and I can't wait until the doors open in 2019. Thank you.
Thanks, Kayla. That was a great job. Okay. And I should also mention we have with us today Jennifer Compo, another one of our MLAs. So welcome, Jennifer. So thank you, Kayla, for reminding us just how important it is to have a dedicated children's hospital for the families and newborns of this province. And now, for the reason that we're all here, I'm going to turn things over to our CEO of the Children's Hospital Foundation, Bryn Boback-Lane.
I think I just got the evil eye from our premier because I'm completely breaking protocol and going first. But there is a reason for that. Today, I speak not for myself, but for a foundation that was built on hope, and for those that we support through our hope. I am speaking on behalf of our children, the newborns, the mothers, and the families, and all of those that have been working so hard in delivering the current care within our children's hospital and pediatrics and maternal services. And for also those that are doing the construction and now the implementation of design within the new provincial maternal and children's hospital. I also do want to highlight something from our province that has helped us get here today. Those from the government of Saskatchewan. Mr. Premier, your ongoing support of this project has been from the onset. We are very grateful you said yes. Thank you. Minister Ryder, for your attention to detail and all of this recent work we've just done over this last few months. Thank you to you and your team. To those from the Saskatoon Health Region, the Department of Pediatrics and Maternal Care, Mr. Florazone, Mr. Stensrud, and to your team, thank you for your steadfast work in building what will soon be a provincial landmark for generations to come. I can't tell you how grateful we are to be a part of this. Now today, we are going to celebrate together. And you know, sometimes the hardest things require just doing the right thing. For all we do to help others, really our work is privileged work. It's a labor of great love. And gratefully, we have also received the blessing from the people of Saskatchewan, those that make it home, our expats that have lived here and left but remember, and those that have been born here and have come back home. They have signaled their intentions with generosity that can only be coined as Saskatchewan style. Collectively, thousands of hours in volunteerism and millions of dollars in financial support has allowed our children and families to experience great things from ordinary people. And this morning is no exception. Our capital campaign will continue. However, today's special and separate gift will allow for a real future in planning for a world-class center of maternal and pediatric excellence. Because to be on the world stage, you do need to reach higher. Just as Sick Kids, the Mayo Clinic, and St. Jude's hospitals have. So too has a visionary gentleman who was born in Luseland, Saskatchewan. Mr. Pattison, welcome back. He and his wife have never forgotten Saskatchewan. It was only a few summers ago when they drove all over Saskatchewan. They took the time to reminisce and chat with folks from all parts of our province. And since then, Mr. Pattison has chosen to build new businesses here. And with that, he has given new opportunity to Saskatchewan families through their engagement and new employment. Mr. Pattison is no stranger to building on a dream, nor is he unfamiliar in seeing an opportunity. He is keenly aware of working from the ground up, picking fruit, to washing cars, and ultimately leading the Jim Pattison Group in becoming a multi-billion-dollar international success. Now, while I could quote on all of his corporate and financial achievements, there is absolutely no question in my mind that upon meeting Mr. Pattison, it is truly his faith, his family, and his friendships that mean the very most to him. Today, we proudly announce his gift to our foundation, but more important, I believe that Mr. Pattison sees this as a passing forward to those who never give up, to those who do face adversity every day, and to those who all still go by the same adage, it's just the right thing to do. Are you ready? Mr. Pattison has made a long-term sustainable gift of $50 million toward the Children's Hospital Foundation of Saskatchewan. Today, what you have given us is the ability to create pediatric and maternal research opportunities right here at home. We have a synchrotron, now we can use it. We're going to use it. It's going to give us leverage to collaborate with other major children's hospitals and research institutes across this country, globally. It's going to allow for pediatric and maternal chairs, fellowships, extended education and knowledge right here in this province. It will enable sustainable programming and highly specialized equipment within the children's hospital walls. And it will also allow for a Saskatchewan Hospital Foundation operational endowment, one of the very first in Canada. So we can build on this endowment internally, keep our administration costs low, and the funding will flow directly to the cause. Thank you for that. To appropriately recognize this extraordinary gift, we will be naming the Children's Hospital and our foundation effective, where's Len? Effective immediately. The Jim Pattison Children's Hospital, and accordingly, our foundation will also take that name, the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital Foundation. Could we please see the new logo? There we go. Okay, this is where it gets tough. When I asked my daughters what I should say to say thank you, one of them said, "Oh, Mom, you're going to start crying anyway." And the other one just said, "With a big hug." And I promise you, you're going to get one of those too. Words are just not able to express our deep gratitude. Your support will definitely change lives. We witness that every day through the families that are here and the children and within. We dedicate this hospital to you and to the new mums who will give new life, to the children and the families, and to those who deliver the care. But today you've given a gift that's worth more than dollars. You've given hope, and you've given healing to Saskatchewan. And for those who are peering out of their windows today onto the construction site with great anticipation, we are so genuine in saying thank you. And I'm going to get off the stage now because nobody's really wanting to listen to me, and I will start getting emotional. But the last thing I do want to say is that to have met you and your board and your family, your circle of friends, has been a great honor. For you to come home and remember Saskatchewan, even more so. Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the Premier of our province, the Honourable Brad Wall, who gave the green light to this project and led us all to this moment today. Mr. Premier.
Thank you very much, Bryn. Bryn, there's no protocol on a day like today beyond just simply saying thank you. I'll say thanks for the introduction and for your remarks, and more about you and your amazing team a little bit later. Mr. Pattison, welcome home. Calla, I'm not sure where you went to. There you are. What a wonderful, I think she deserves another round of applause. She's just a wonderful job. Legislative colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, you know, it's not every day that you can attend an event where you know for sure, somewhere down the road you will say to yourself and others, I was there when. We throw the term sort of history around pretty loosely, I think. Today, this is history making, this day and this announcement, for the reasons that Bryn has canvassed so well. And it is just a wonderful day in the life of Saskatchewan, thanks to the announcement here today. So It's an honor for me to be here representing the government and the people of the province of Saskatchewan today. Many years ago, on a train heading west, a journalist struck up a conversation with a 14-year-old boy. The boy apparently was confident and talkative, seemed exceptionally well informed about cars, could talk in detail of the difference between a Packard and a Pontiac, including gas mileage in other great detail. And he knew apparently something about music too, this young boy. He was a trumpeter. He performed at Bible camps in Saskatchewan, where he was billed, quote, the boy wonder from Vancouver. And the journalist was suitably impressed. So much so that this journalist wrote a letter to the boy's father. I don't know how he got the address, but I'm pretty sure, knowing what I know now of that young boy, that he probably had business cards even then. But the journalist wrote a letter to this young boy's father, and it read, "All I wish to say to you is this. I do a lot of traveling both in Canada and the States, and consequently, I meet a lot of people. And in all my travels, I have never met a more manly, better behaved, or more intelligent boy than your son. If I do not miss my guess, this boy has a real future in front of him." The year was 1943. The young lad was Jimmy Pattison. And the journalist most assuredly did not miss his guess. But ladies and gentlemen, I think it's fair to say what he could not have known at the time, even though he had an inkling of something great, was the kind of man that that young boy would grow into, and the lives that would be impacted by him. A man today who is successful in ways that many of us only can imagine, and successful in the most important ways. He doesn't measure his success by what he has earned or saved or what he owns, but rather by what he has given away and what legacy has been left for others. He is a man, if you have read about him or know him, that is guided by the tenets of his deep and abiding faith. The author and perfecter of that faith in Matthew said, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." Today, his treasure is with Calla and all of the champions, all of the kids that will benefit in this province and their families for years to come. He is a man of irrepressible enthusiasm and contagious optimism and extraordinary compassion. Maybe most relevant for us in this room today, he is a man who has never forgotten from where he came. This place, our place, Saskatchewan. So we say to you, as Bryn has already said this morning, welcome home, sir. I think I also read that you met your wife at Bible camp, near the 17-mile bridge just near Swift Current. By the way, today that's West Bank Bible Camp. It's still there, and our kids actually went to West Bank Bible Camp. I'm not sure if they've met their future spouses there. So far, there's no indication of that, but Bible Camp's a pretty good place to start, I'd say. I think it's fair to say, when I heard the audible gasp in the room, I think we are all rightly astonished by this remarkable gift. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the largest gift, the largest donation in the history of our great province. So, let me extend to you and your family and the foundation and those who make it happen our profound gratitude, our heartfelt appreciation on behalf of the people of Saskatchewan. This gift is going to make a difference, as Bryn has pointed out. There are some who have spent months away from their home and from their family to get treatment. Because of this project, that will no longer be the case in our Saskatchewan. That's going to change soon and very soon when that hospital opens. It has been quite a journey, ladies and gentlemen. In 2009, at the bidding of the foundation, and there was a lot of bidding and encouragement by the foundation, Brandon, and by a number of Saskatoon MLAs who are here today, and others in the community, and those from healthcare sectors across our province, we've made the decision that Saskatchewan would have a children's hospital. We were one of only 2 provinces that didn't have one. We could see the need, we could see the commitment from the community and from the various health sectors and from the business sector. And so we made a decision. At the time, we actually owned half of a fertilizer plant near Belle Plaine that we were thinking of privatizing. We probably maybe shouldn't be in the fertilizer business, but we should probably still be in the healthcare business. And so it was actually that transaction that paved the way for 200 of the $250 million worth of public provincial investment in the project. And if you remember, there were doubts expressed at the time. But the many supporters of this project heeded the maxims that have also served as the operating principles for Jim Pattison. Mr. Pattison has written, quote, "Nothing will ever be attempted if all possible objections must be first overcome." That has an application to the business here today, to why we are well met here in this room today. And there's another Pattison adage that says, "Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence and determination." And boy, is that ever true. Which brings me to the foundation, to the chair, to the board, to the volunteers, Bryn, to you and your amazing team. You have been absolutely undaunted in this effort, motivated in all the best of ways. And so we say to you and through you to your team, past, present, and future, thank you. There have been thousands of fundraising events that just didn't happen, ladies and gentlemen. Radiothons and barbecues and popcorn sales and show and shines and golf tournaments and car auctions. There have been champions who've raised their own money and donated theirs, and then big days like today. But because of your persistence and your determination and because of the generosity of those that you've worked with and those you represent, we are here today, and we will have a state-of-the-art children's hospital. And ladies and gentlemen, we need to continue the support. It doesn't end here today. This capital project and support for the foundation that will ensure this is the institution, this is the facility we want it to be, it continues. We need to remember that. It will be a hospital that will serve as a hub of clinical best practices and learning for professionals. It's going to help us recruit and retain the very best in pediatric and maternal health care specialists to this province. It is a hospital, importantly, by the way, designed in part by children and their families using lean principles. It will be a hospital that will proudly bear the name of its most generous benefactor, Jim Pattison, from Luseland, Saskatchewan. So I say again, sir, on behalf of a very grateful province, thank you so very much for this extraordinary gift. I wonder what the man on that train would think today.
Thank you very much, Premier Wall. I think you've said it all. This is an incredible day for the children of Saskatchewan and also for the Jim Pattison Children's Hospital Foundation. And just to echo your words, this is only the beginning. And the board certainly has a vision of ensuring that this is a world-class facility that will be unparalleled across this country. So thank you. So now I would like to invite Kayla back up to make a presentation to Mr. Pattison. And we have a token of appreciation.
On behalf of kids and families across the province, Mr. Pattison, I would like to present you with a very special token of our appreciation. As a true partner on this project, I have for you your very own Children's Hospital hard hat and safety vest, so that you're able to see the progress on our kids' hospital anytime that you come to visit.
Mr. Pattison, would you please join us?
Okay. Well, this doesn't quite fit, but I'll fix it afterwards. Well, thank you, Premier, for the gracious and introduction that you just gave. I can tell you that it's volunteers that make the difference. And I just would like to say my thanks to the people here and the volunteers that have put years and effort into not only this project, but all projects. A community, what makes a community is the volunteers that give it their time. They may not have money, but that's not matter. Giving of your time is the most valuable thing that anybody can give. And I just want to thank all volunteers that are here today, and many who are not, that give their time for all of the things in a community, or a city, or a province, or a country. And I can tell you that you show me the fabric of the volunteers, and I'll show you a successful town, village, country, or city. So thank you to all of those who have given their time. And I also want to recognize this morning the mayor of Looseland, where was my home. The reason I'm here today is because of the people of Looseland and a church here in Saskatoon. During the Great Depression, my dad was in business in Looseland and went out of business in the 29, 30, 31 era. The crops were tough in Saskatchewan, and he wound up with absolutely nothing. We moved to Saskatoon via Prince Albert, and it was a church, the Apostolic Church here in Saskatoon, that helped us with clothes for me. And we lived up here just off of 19th and Avenue G, in a one room, and the people would get wood and bring it upstairs. And so my dad eventually went to Vancouver and started over again. He never recovered financially. But I couldn't have had better parents. And I can tell you that it was the people of Saskatchewan. My mother came from Major Saskatchewan. They were homesteaders. My dad's family came from Delisle, and they were homesteaders. And I got married in Moose Jaw. And we have been very blessed over the years. When I got into business, and some of the folks that are with us today, would you please stand, to the folks that from Vancouver and Saskatchewan here that are involved with our company. We thank you very, very much for your work and what you do, because we can't give money away unless we make it. So anyway, we have Dan Bragg here. Where's Dan? Please stand up, Dan. Dan Bragg is starting. He's the president of a company called Bilo, and actually he's building his first store in Saskatchewan in Tisdale. Everybody knows where Tisdale is. And so that's, Dan is a very successful businessman and operates in British Columbia and Alberta. And this is the first store, grocery store in Saskatchewan. Thank you. And then we also have, we got into the broadcast business here. Why don't you stand? Would you please tell us about a little bit how long you've been in Prince Albert, and I can just say thank you again for your leadership and what you've done. And so just briefly, just tell us what you've been doing.
Well, 15 years in Prince Albert. We have 3 radio stations and PA now. We also have 3 in North Battleford and Portals and 1 in Meadow Lake.
So, well, thank you very, very much. And you're from North Battleford. Thanks for coming and being with us today. And then we have the John Deere folks. Would you please, Art, why don't you just briefly tell us where you're from and our group there?
Kevin Hitchings is with me, and Mike Kudowski from Yorkton. We've got 17 stores in Saskatchewan, 19 stores total in Manitoba.
And you come from the big town of?
Swift Current.
Okay, so thank you, Art. And then we've opened up our first grocery store in Regina, and I'm going to call on Daryl Jones, the president, and just briefly tell him what you're about to do here in Saskatoon and so on.
Certainly, we're excited to say that in about 6 weeks, actually July 15th, we'll open our first store in Saskatoon. The 15th of June, we're going to open our store in Yorkton. And early next year, we'll open our second store here in the beautiful city of Saskatoon. So we should have, by the end of next year, about 6 stores in the province of Saskatchewan. We absolutely love it.
Okay. Thank you, Daryl. And Brad, would you stand, please? Brad is a trustee of the Jim Pattison Foundation, where this money comes from. And Brad, I want to thank you. You came from North Battleford and has been a very successful businessman. And I just want to thank you for your support on helping make this decision that the foundation board has made to support the Children's Hospital in Saskatchewan. So thank you for that. And I just want to say that the people in this province are special. And I am so glad that I've had an upbringing that had all the values the people in Saskatchewan have. Our objective is to grow our business, but our real objective is to try to take what we do and help and give things to others. And when my dad first in Saskatchewan, when I started to grow up, he always said, no, you have to give. My allowance was 50 cents. And he said, now, now this is a must, Jimmy. He says, here's your allowance, 50 cents a week, but you got to give 5 cents tithing back to the old tithing of the Old Testament. So I just want you to know that we've been busy trying to find, over the years, we have ever since I started, went from the 5 cents that I used to put aside for giving, and we're still doing it. And I can tell you we've been very blessed, but the importance of honesty, integrity, and people. Everything is people. And I just want to thank the folks that have been involved, in this foundation here in Saskatchewan and this project. I can tell you that it is really very special. And there's 2 people that are very special here today with me. One of them is Maureen Chant. Maureen, can you stand up just for a minute, please? Maureen is my assistant. Been with me how many years now, Maureen? 54 years. And Maureen, we started in a gas station, and when I started, we had a 3-pump gas station in Vancouver and a 2-car showroom, and Maureen Chant worked in the parts department. And over time, she grew as our company continued to grow. But she is the person that originally got me totally focused on the importance of health care. So our giving over the years has been in the area, primarily on many areas, but one of the many primary areas has been healthcare. So Maureen, we're here today because of her commitment to healthcare. So thank you for that. Now, because Maureen's getting on up in years, she's now 78 years old, and she's been with me all these years, 54. And so she's been in charge. I can remember she and I would actually hold a meeting to spend $25. And we'd spend a half an hour trying to figure where we would give the $25. And so as she has had a huge influence on not only on our company but our giving, as she got older, she wanted to bring somebody in. So we decided we'd bring my youngest daughter into the picture. And that takes me to, would you stand up? This is Cindy. And Cindy is our youngest daughter. And so she is now learning to give money away from Maureen. And but Cindy came back. She came to Saskatchewan when this project just first came up, and she came back and she went to work on Maureen, and Maureen didn't have a chance when they got back, and that eventually got to the trustees and the enthusiasm that Cindy had for this project. So I want to thank all of the folks here that are with us today, but again, I want to thank all the people that have given their time, not only to this project, but to the community, to the province, our country, and the province, the cities, the people that give. Giving is a very important part of our life, and all of us can give something, and it doesn't have to be money. It can be some of your time. Thank you.
We have just one small token of appreciation left to present. I agree with your comments about having people around you that strengthen you and focus you and help you to achieve your objectives. Because it's never one person, it takes a village. This has been an amazing village of people, and obviously you share the same values. I also want to thank Maureen Chant and Cindy Lambier, because one of the most beautiful gifts you can give a person is a chance. And you both gave us that opportunity. Maureen, when you called me back last summer, I did a happy dance. I was so excited to hear from you within hours of leaving a message. I was just absolutely impressed that you would take the time to call us back. And when we spoke, you introduced me through your conversation to Cindy. And since then, Cindy and I have had many conversations. You've made a good choice, and I know it's all in good hands. I would just ask my staff if they could maybe help me with this, please, as well as Calla. Calla's going to have my job soon. We brought you a special little gift, one for you, Maureen, one for Cindy, and one for you, Mr. Pattison. These homemade blankets were handmade for you all from a lovely lady in a family, and her name is Irene Dubé. She has been knitting these blankets for several years now in anticipation of the new Children's Hospital opening, and the day that the hospital opens, every patient bed will have one of these blankets at the end of it, hand done from Mrs. Dubé so that the children and the mothers-to-be can take them home after their stay. We look at this as a symbol of comfort and warmth and care and a true gift from the heart. And what I'd really like to say is take the quote from my daughter. This really is to you, Cindy, to you, and Maureen, to you, a real big, warm hug from Saskatchewan people.
Wow. Okay. So we're coming to a close. So thank you all for joining us for this remarkable display of profound generosity. And to celebrate the incredible commitment to the children and families of Saskatchewan. And as Jimmy said, thanks to the many volunteers, and in Saskatchewan, we've got lots of them. Also to the staff and to the board members who have given so much time and energy to make this a world-class maternal and pediatric health care, and to make this a reality in Saskatchewan. So we look forward to continuing to work with all of you as we at the foundation push through to new heights as we work towards reaching our capital campaign goals and beyond. So for the media who are out today, we will be having a short scrum that will follow to the left of the stage after the official photos. And for our invited guests, I would welcome you to stay and to join us for a true Saskatchewan-style buffet luncheon that will be beginning shortly. We'll do some photographs, we'll do the scrum, and then we've got a short video to follow, and then we'll move into lunch. Okay?